Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Space Engineers. I'm your host, Quantum Tater. Quantum Tater, say hello. Last time on Quantum Does Moon, we worked on our mine, and as you can see, I did a little off-screen stuff. It is definitely coming along. It's doing some work. We're down to the iron now, so we are definitely getting an amount of stuff. I've laid out some blocks, as you can also tell. Pop on some headlights so you guys can see. I've got an extra cargo container. I made some an extra hydrogen tank just to kind of get some stuff floated. I laid some blocks out. And then I decided I wasn't going to build too much further. So we only have 2 batteries here. But the thing that I forgot is I totally have a sweet mod. And that mod, oh, I installed a couple of new mods. One is called, and I'm going to alt tab and you won't be able to see it. So it's just going to be, um, it's just going to be me. You'll see the mouse moving around, but nothing else because that's the way this works. It is called, I believe it is called Electric Network Info by Adriano, Adriano, Adriano. Anyways, it has an API, a text API to do stuff, but it creates a touchscreen. But now we can see all of our power. So if I turn my lights off here, we can see what's generating everything. And I added this so I could recharge easily while I was building things. But we have ourselves plenty of materials getting created, and I've set up the goat to do some stuff. I haven't obviously welded everything up, but we've got some. Oh, our ores are full. That's neat. That's neat. We should probably give a second designation to one of these guys here. Like I think this one is ingots cargo. I think we can probably. What are you? Your large components cargo. I think we can have ores in this guy too. We'll just also put ores here. So um, the mine, because the inventory as a whole is not completely full, I think it. There we go. Yeah, okay. And we may have to do, for components, we may have to add ores also to the components as well. But as we move along, so one of the things I didn't do, well, first of all, I should say that John recommended or suggested like a small little hydro bike. I could use a hydro bike to kind of hop around, and it would be safer than driving. You're probably correct in that. Um, So that is something I might try to do. I don't think I've given this thing a name. So I did tools. Yeah, right there. Perfect. That's a great spot for that. So the base is obviously not done. I definitely want to get a solar tower up on this guy here. I do not think this is the system I wanted to do. I wanted to look for a screenshot or some sort of like layout that this might be able to be in order to give it some new flavor. I moved the assembler and put some speed modules on it. As you can see, we've got 2 hydrogen engines powering the 2 batteries, which is not enough by any means. So we'll be adding additional batteries as we go. I'm going to try to make it, I think what I'm going to try to do is line some batteries up in here, but I remembered I used a battery mod. So there should be power cells. And that's not what they're called. There should be these things here, power core battery module. I've never built one of these. So I was thinking this would be a great time to test out a power core battery module, and the way to do that is going to be power. Hey, look at that thing. Okay, so this is a Space Engineers 2 battery. In theory, you can have one plopped down, uh, and it can recharge, so I could set one on the other base, have it recharging, and potentially be able to refill these things up. So we're going to build one here. I like the idea of having it back here. Let's just put this guy right here. Right now, we'll get this thing welded up. Oh, that is not the texture we want to use. I'm going to turn my headlights back on so we're not all flying blind. Wrong thing. I just need a color. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so we've got ourselves the power core. Power core battery frame. Perfect. And then what we do is I guess we come to the production thing and we say we need what? We need power cores. So I just type in the word power core. Nope. I think we want all blocks. Just these blocks. These blocks? These blocks. These blocks. Didn't I just find it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I assume we can get 3 of these. And then I honestly don't know. We'll see how this. You're only able to make one? No. Okay, so then we got that guy. There's probably another one somewhere. I don't know if it's a component or what it is. I think what we might want to do though, we might want to come over here and I'll run. What is this? Which one is this? Let's pause for a second. We're getting tons of material right now and we're not building anything, which isn't a bad thing, but it just means we're not building anything. And so I thought I built 3 of those power cores. It looks like the system, I'm going to put one of these right here. It looks like the system didn't know what to do with it. So then now, what do? I jump up here and I click F and I go blop. And is this, so now what is this doing? So maximum input required 16 megawatts, maximum output 60 megawatts, max stored 4. So charge efficiency, so we're charging these batteries now. Okay, so if I look at the power core things, so I think this can both charge this battery, and so what we're going to do, we're going to build another one of these, and I'm going to grab 4 of those power cells. And now that our inventory manager should see those power cells, I wonder if it actually, let's do a recompile really quick. I wonder if it sees them to make them. It probably does not. So what we can do, we can come in here. We can say, I need, where were those at? Right here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, so then we have 4 of these. And then what we need is we need to go back to this power core guy, grab all the components to make that, and then we're going to drive this bad boy back home. We're going to pick up some food. And then I think what we're going to do, we're going to go on the hunt. Did I already drill this off? I cut off our drill because we don't really need it anymore. We're going to go on the hunt for some gold because I want to get those yield modules on that boy right there picked up. So we're going to go find ourselves some gold and see what's what. The other thing we can do, and I should do, let's go ahead and go over here. Let's put this. Actually, let's just see if it'll dump all those things. Oh, it does. It treats them like that crap. Good. And I think I'm gonna grab a couple of things of stone because like we don't need as much stone as is in the system. We have 101 million kilos of stone, so I feel like we can probably bring some stone back to the baby base, let it process. And the good news about that is that the stone processing from a perspective of, oh, this is going to take a minute. But the basic refinery and the survival kit both process stone better than just the refinery, I think, from just a strictly yield standpoint. So that is oh, yep, we're gonna need, yeah, we're gonna need some. We're also gonna find some magnesium. That's gonna be on the priority list. Magnesium and magnesium and some gold. Yeah, those are the things we want to go find. I think we haven't marked it. We've got mag marked somewhere, so we can go get that stuff. And then I want to kind of peruse around. I want to see what's on this rock while we let some processing happen on that thing. I think we can also kind of go about our way of, what I should do is I should go in here and I should up the quotients for all these things because I had them set kind of low. But I think we can probably safely bump some of this stuff up to like let's say 300. 300 construction components. Let's give this 1,000 and just let it. That's probably enough. 1,000. We'll go to 500 on some of these. Metal grids, we have none. We haven't even gotten to that yet, which is going to be an interesting. That's going to be an interesting thing. Motors, I think we could probably easily get to 500 and not worry about this. We're going to double this bad boy. What's that? 3,200? No, not 3,200. 320. Nah, let's not do that. I think 240 is probably enough. That's 3 batteries we can easily build right away. Solar cells, that's fine. Steel plates, we're going to jump this up to 3,000. And we'll just let this do some building. And the reason we're doing that is because we've got the materials. We might as well dump out as much as possible. So let's go. We might have to expand our ore container outwards. which we can do that too next time. But let's go ahead and get back over there. So John said hydro bike could be pretty cool. This thing is laden with stone now. I love that for me. This is going to be a fun drive back. Um, and he said it's possible that it would be less dangerous for me to use a hydro bike than it would be to drive this thing back, and I'm less likely to kill myself. We'll see about that, John. We'll see. You underestimate my power. Um, but yeah, I think he's right. I can just do like basically a medium cargo container or maybe even a modular, build a little hydro ship type thing for running back and forth. This has only got a medium cargo container, so it's not as if it's revolutionary in terms of speed and stuff. But I would like to get a solar tower up. I'm probably not going to do that. I don't know if I'll do that today, but I definitely want to get a solar tower. And I think near ground zero, just to the, we'll call it southwest of ground zero, I believe near that nickel and stuff, I think I saw some gold. So I think finding gold is not going to be impossible. I think it's actually going to be pretty simple to get some. So, and we're just going to hand mine that stuff. I'm not building a miner yet. I was trying to stay rover wise. And it is entertaining to drive the rover in the moon, but it's slow. That's I think that's where my hiccup is right now is it's slower. So for me, which it's always going to be slower to take a vehicle than just Hydroman. But if I can get just a little like basically a hydrogen bike, like a hydrogen jet bike, I think we can do some pretty good stuff. Um, so I wonder what that would look like. I'm kind of thinking in my head. I don't know if you guys watched the Book of Boba Fett. Guy played by Timothy. Not Timothy Chalamet. What is that guy's name? He looks a bit like Josh Duhamel, but he's not Josh Duhamel, and I can't think of his name for the life of me. Anyways, he played like the sheriff, and he was wearing Boba Fett's armor before Boba Fett came and got it back. Anyways, he had a really cool looking speeder that was definitely looked like it was made up of one of the engines from Anakin's pod racer from Episode One, which is a lot of Star Wars knowledge I just dumped on you people. But that's what you're here for hear me ramble. Um, and then I know we haven't yet, but I do plan to change the intro and do some new footage of that. We're not doing that today. That's you're not going to witness that recording, but I might do a new intro because now we've got a base finished and the squirrel looks completely different. And now we're making a mine. And the mine is fully functional. It is probably not going to hit the depth of the cobalt, and we have so much nickel and iron to chew through. Like honestly. I'm gonna need multiple things. But I was trying to find like images of like a cool factory that I could sort of mimic and build because I don't when I'm just slamming blocks down and not really thinking about it, I feel like my design falls away. So if I have something I can kind of look at and say, oh, I like the way this looks, I'm gonna design that. Maybe it'll come out a little more cohesive. I know I want the color to be yellow at the very least. One of the colors to be primary yellow so that it looks industrial. Caution yellow, school bus yellow. All right, let's get this thing docked up so we can build this battery. And I want to see if this system can charge it. We'll also take a nap, get the sun up, but I want to see if it'll charge these batteries. Because there's not going to be much going on in this base when we get done, is my thoughts. And then we'll have to think about a place to build a hover bike that is already docked up and um, sort of, you know, okay, sort of already docked up and ready. Let's see. So first things first. Let's go ahead and grab the blocks necessary. We already put them in there, so let's grab the blocks necessary. And let's think of where we want to put this battery. I'm thinking... right here feels good. Seems like a good spot for it, right? Maybe up on the roof? I like this. I think maybe right here. Looks like a good place for it. It's got no cells in it. The only thing this doesn't have that we would like to see, obviously, is the Space Engineers 2 ability to just like click, 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 and dump those things in there. But it's okay that it doesn't. So let's get those things in there. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and there we go. So those should be charging. I wonder if it has more. I think it only has 4. I think 4. Although it shows that it can do 7. Does that mean, can it do 7? Wait a minute. Where did that go? Uh-oh. Where'd that go? What the hell? Did I just... Bueller? Bueller, did that just disappear? It looks like that just disappeared. I'm gonna do it again just to see if it also... Where are those going? Add selected components to production queue. Hmm. I don't know where that went. I will say from the metal grids perspective, let's go to metal grids real quick. And we're just gonna say 4. That's all the metal grids we need. So that it quits trying to make metal grids. That's the plan. That's my thought. I don't know where those power cells went. They're just gone forever. I mean, that one still shows right there. So where'd the other one go? If I'm not mistaken, these things are charging. I don't see it anywhere, so I guess that's it. It's just gone. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Interesting. Okay, well, it'd be that way sometimes. All right, so there's that. And I think they're charging. So if we look at the menu here, max current input, charge efficiency 80%, charge current output, stored power 0, depleted, and so right now it should just be charging. Configuration 4 modules. Total, so ship power, okay. So let's go ahead and take a nap really quick, and I might run over to the base. So first, nap. And eat some food. One of these is the snack bar. I need to grab some snacks. You know what? We're just going to take all 50. There's no reason not to have them on me. So, I am going to Hydroman really quick to the mine. I'm building another power cell and stick it in there because I want to see if this ultimately charges. That's the plan here. So we've got some cobalt there, some silver. I don't need silver right now. We've got... Need to Hydroman it more efficiently. We've got, man, look at this. This is gonna look cool eventually. It's not just a big gray blob, but you know how it is. It always feels like the big gray blob is the thing you live with for the longest. So let's grab here. I need one of those bad boys. Thank you. All right, we can go. And then we got to find gold. That's our next step. And then let's see who else. Chad made a comment. Let me see. Actually, let me see if I've got. Clyde is still like I have to go through an enormous amount. I still have to go through an enormous amount of effort to see Clyde's comments for some reason. I don't know what's going on with this. It's just YouTube being a terror, I think, is really what it is. But Chad said, one episode since last fatality, OSHA has increased my safety rating. So Space OSHA is impressed that I didn't get nuked in the face by that thing. I did chicken out pretty quickly though, and I took almost no loot from it. But honestly, like, what were we gonna do with all that crap? We're already at capacity for. There's supposed to be a block right there. I'm gonna fix that. I need a baby block. And so yeah, OSHA, Space OSHA can, as my teenager would say, suck my butt. So I mean, not that I'm not happy to have the rating, but you know, they're not here. They're not seeing what it's like. They don't know how hard it is to make guardrails or something. Okay, power's going. So we'll see if these things get charged. Right now they're showing, if I click on it, each one of these is a 0%. I don't know. I honestly don't know how this mod works. So I'm assuming power grid on cell has power, has batteries, can charge. We'll see how that happens. So, okay, we've got all that crap. I believe the ores section of this should be empty now. Beautiful. So we can grab this. I don't need the handbrake. We can make sure that we are fully emptied out except for our pod connector. There we go. We can put this in the cockpit right here. Did we finish reading that? I think we did. I think we're okay. We finished reading. All right, let's find ourselves some gold. But Chad said, yeah, so OSHA rating's up. And then, ooh, Clyde actually did leave a comment. I just have to go through the rigmarole of getting that done. What did Clyde say? Let's see. My brain is not working today. Just watched E7. I somehow missed, from what little I could see, it looks like if the down piston was slowed, you might not have the clearance problem. Oh yeah, I still laugh watching you bunny hop over the moon. I keep watching, waiting for you to jump into space. Yeah, I've thought about that a couple times. For the as far as for the sound problem, if it isn't on your end, it must be YouTube. Your videos are the only ones. Oh well, I enjoy the content, so I'll live with it. Till episode 9. Yeah, you know what? I thought so. Was the sound? I guess the question is, Clyde, was the sound better last time? Um, if it's me quiet and music loud, I can just we'll just have to I'll just have to keep tinkering with it. I believe I bump my audio, my personal audio for um my hey, there's gold right there. Ask, speak of the gold and you shall appear. That is pretty deep though. I don't know if I want to dig that deep to get to gold. Maybe I do though. Like maybe we just all right, we're doing it. We're just gonna get gold here. Um, so let's do that. But yeah, it's just kind of depends on what the audio actually is. All right, so we're gonna time lapse this dig to the gold because digging. You know what? There might be no. This is gonna be the fastest way. So let's just do this. GPS Moon AU. Is AU gold? I believe. I believe AU is gold. All right, so yeah, give me just a second. We'll get to the bottom of this. I'll get some gold, and you guys will be on the other side. You know what? I will say this: the gold being this deep into the ground, I definitely do not have to worry about wanting to build a mine to dig into this gold. This thing is absolutely not worth to try to get to. It is so very deep. If I look up once I get a full inventory really quick. I don't know how much I need specifically to get. It's always the question. How much? Oh, yeah, we are currently 100 meters from the um, from the squirrel. 100 meters. That's too many meters. Even for the brush, it's too many meters. You know what we need to do? I want this to show ship name. Or is it? No, I know what it is. It's supposed to be this. You're supposed to do antenna, and then what you want the HUD text to be. So we can do squirrel. I think that's the idea. Yeah, the PAGs, because then it shows your company affiliation. So, does anyone know if the gravity on the moon is it terminal enough that if you just get inside the gravity up in space and then you let yourself fall, will you take damage, or does it is it ultimately not fast enough? That's the question I have. So this gold deposit's way too low. I was thinking about the prospects of like building additional mines because I think we're gonna need specifically a mine for specifically a mine for um, magnesium. If we're gonna be pirates, we're gonna need an ample supply of weaponry, and the only way to do that is really to have a mine. Now we can do thumpers. I do have the resource mod installed, so we can build like a thumper outpost that just basically farms it, and then I have to go pick that stuff up and deliver it to the refinery. I kind of like that idea because then it's not a one-stop shop, and it means we have to make trips and stuff and do things like that. I think that's an interesting idea to handle the resource node without having to build a whole nother mining setup. That being said, it does mean that the resource is effectively unlimited, which I mean it basically is anyways. It's not like I only have, ow, that hurt. I'm gonna kill myself just flying. Um, I think I believe I'm getting more stone than I am gold, which is stupid. That's okay. I gotta heal up. Gotta heal up. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think about that as far as, oh my gosh, seriously. If you think like, oh, we could like the resource node for specifically like just basically have a small little outpost, maybe a seat to recharge, maybe seat to recharge, and a docking connector for whatever vehicle where it currently would be the squirrel, and then if I make another one like a docking connector that would do basically um, allow us to get that is so hard to see a docking connector to allow us to like pull stuff into the rover or into whatever ship, like probably have like a landing one, like a landing pad and a rover pad docking connector. We get the docking connector set up. That way I can offload into the cargo container and then I can take and fly it to the next location. I can fly back to the refinery. So I don't mind the resource node if we're doing something like that. I don't want to build a resource node, then put a refinery on it, then blah, blah, blah. Like, because then I'm still having to go pick up the materials. But I think from a management perspective, it'd be smarter, like, oh, I definitely need more munitions if we're going to go to war. I should bring that stuff over now, kind of thing. It kind of depends on how you feel about it. Also, making a logistics network for that stuff. I do not plan to make drones to deliver us cargo. I know I did that in season one. We can always revisit the. We can always revisit the. What did we call that? I can't even remember. What did we call those things? They were the. What did we call those drones? Anybody? They were just mules. We could always revisit the mules, get like a mule 2.0 just for the moon. I'm not against it. I was thinking to myself, whoa, we are heavy. Okay, so moon, we've got the gold. Where the gold at? Now, we're gonna go drop this stuff off at the mine. And then I think what we might do is like really shoddily, like super duper shoddy, build ourselves a little hydro bike platform. I think that's what we're gonna build a hydro bike today. We already got ourselves some moon. I wanted to do some driving around, but if I could drive around on a sweet hydro bike, what if I made it to where it was... Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. Okay. You guys are going to be like, no, that's not a good idea, but it could be a very good idea. What if it... Ooh. What if it's a rover and a flying... No, no. Like a Judge Dredd motorcycle where like it flies, but it also can drive around on wheels. So if we run out of fuel... Huh? Huh? What do we think about this idea? This idea could be funny. Good? No. Funny? Potentially hilarious. Oh, this is not... I'm not going to make the jump. Clyde, for your entertainment. I've also had that thought as well, Clyde, by the way. I feel like one of these times I'm going to make this jump like this. And, oh, come on, you can do it. Nope, 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 you cannot. Come on, we got the juice. Come on, the juice is loose. Get her done. I've often felt like one of these times I'm going to hit one of these ramps. If I didn't have weight on board, for instance, that's slowing me down kind of, I feel like one of these times I'm going to hit full speed and I'm just going to leave the moon. And then I'm going to be boned because I don't have any way to turn this stupid thing around. It's just going to float off into space, which might be a cool send off for the squirrel. Like, how fast do I need to get going on the ground in order to send the squirrel to space? And leave it. Like, just like eject it. Oh, no, 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 no. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. There we go. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Flip over, flip over. Oof. Aha! Gravity's keeping me down. I am I'm asking for it is what I'm doing right here. This isn't great. You know, you guys are enjoying this color commentary where I poorly drive this thing back. All right. So yeah, let's get back. We might and then we're gonna build ourselves a little bike. Um, now that we've got the refinery, the problem is, as much as I want the yield modules, which I do want them, the problem that I have with the yield modules is ultimately we're not short on the resources that we're currently finding. Like the yield modules would be great for gold and for when cobalt when we get it, but for iron, silicon, and nickel, because we're doing so much stone to process, there's no reason. In fact, I might switch those to speed modules and just chew through the crap because I just don't know that it's necessary. I don't know if we need to do yield. But it might be better to do power efficiency. Ooh, there we go. Nice little bounce. We're doing good. We're doing good. I have no way to hook this thing up, so it's just gonna be unfortunate. And let's get ourselves parked right here. I'm trying to think where I might put a dear old hover bike, but I think I have an idea. So I think I have an idea. Let's grab some gold. Gold first. Get her done. Okay. We don't need more stone, so we're just going to leave the stone in the thing, and that's going to go back with us to the other facility. So what's going to happen, and I'll actually even take additional stone and toss it in this bad boy just for grins. Let's go see how we're doing on this battery here. What did we get? We got power core battery frame. If I check the inventory on it, no, the inventory, that's at 100%. So now I can. I don't know how this works. I don't know how that mod works. Okay, let me think for a second. We need to eat some food. And then I need to, oh yeah, I need to make at least one superconductor so that the system knows that conductors, that's a word. English is hard. All right, you got to turn off for a second. I need to produce a single superconductor. Come on, make one superconductor. Oh my gosh. Gold? Nope. Not fold. That's not a word. Refinery. I just need one superconductor worth of gold. And then we can prioritize. Hell yeah. Okay. Good for the gander, good for the goose. Do that. Turn it on, recompile. And now we should see superconductors in our list at some point. Because it'll see at least one. Did it? In fact. It did see, in fact, at least one. I don't know how many. Let's cancel that. How many do we need for these things here, these yield modules? 20. Okay, so I want, let's just say for now, we'll just do 20 on board. Oh yeah, right there. Oh yeah, oh yeah, well. We'll do 40, just to be, okay. Those are being made. Perfect. Alrighty, now. No. Let's get ourselves, we're gonna need some, body once told me the world was gonna, anyone? No? Just me? Okay, just me. Grab this guy here, 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 this guy here. Okay, grab some parts. I think what we're gonna do, oh yeah, I like this idea already. We're gonna go over here. We want the color of these pipes and not the color of whatever color they are. And we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna do, there we go. And then I have an idea, and my idea is to make sure that stuff is indefinitely connected. I'm gonna do this right here, pop, pop, pop. And then I need this guy here, we're gonna do small. Perfect, and then we're gonna need that color right there. We're gonna go, we may not need all those, but we're gonna, oh, you know what we wanna do? Ah, dang it. You're right, guys. What am I thinking? What am I even thinking? No one knows. What are we thinking? We're thinking that we need some blast door blocks. So blast door blocks, words are hard. Blast door blocks are impenetrable when it comes to small grid thrust. So for now, we're just going to do that. I think is going to be fine. We'll figure out what this looks like in a minute, but let's grab this, this, and oh, I can't. Let's go get all these things really quick, and let's get them built up. It's weird that I didn't grab all of it, but you know what it is. I know I have the welder on the gun. I should just, or on the thing, but you know. Oh, we didn't go. Why didn't you guys remind me? We didn't go get ourselves any magnesium. That's okay. We don't need magnesium where we come from. Where I come from is cornbread and chicken. Oops. I think I just messed up. Did I? Nah, all right. Okay. There's that guy, this guy, and this guy. All right, this and this. And now that I have this here, I should be able to blap. Oh no, it's not going to let me, I bet. It's not. Those are the things that can't come through the hole, I'm assuming. That's what she said. I don't know why she said that, but bear with me. Okay. This is connected. We're going to build our little guy right here. It's going to be great. But we need to go find magnesium really quick, because what I want to do, I think I'm going to stick On top of this guy right here, we're going to definitely put a Gatling gun. In fact, I'm going to just do that now while I have it. I'm not going to do interior turrets, although I could. I'm not going to. Let's do Gatling gun. And I don't need the survival kit right now. So we can pop you up. We're going to do the new ones because they look cooler. We're going to change the color of it because it... And this guy's going to be... No, that's good. Perfect. I want to have the munitions accessible from the top over here, so we do this. Beautiful. This is going to do the work for us, but we definitely need munitions, which means we've got to go find ourselves some sweet, sweet magnesium, which we've already got on the board. So, dumbly, let's do this. Let's do something dumb. The Duke boys, woo! I didn't build that ramp for that intention, but guess what? It works perfectly. All right, I'm gonna drive over to the. I'll see you when we get to the magnesium mine, or the magnesium hole, and we'll go from there. All right. So another thing I was thinking. So thinking about the resource node mod, where we don't have to, where we mine, where we're not having to dig big holes, but we have to transport the raw materials back to a facility. The other thing we could do is we could like limit it to like, okay, if we're going to use resource nodes, they need to be a minimum of like 5 kilometers away. Like it can't be right next to this mine. Like we're currently, what are we from the iron mine? We're 500 meters away. So instead of it being 500 meters, we make it so like, okay, it has to be like multiple kilometers away for some reason. Moon's gravity or pull, I don't know. Something to add a little bit of like flavor. So we've got something to do, a task that is not just jump over the hill, grab stuff, jump over the hill, grab stuff back, that kind of thing. We could do that. Um, just food for thought. Also, while we were sitting here mining this, right when I got over here, I saw a medical shuttle distress signal, and I thought to myself, isn't that what the adder was? And what if we got ourselves an adder right away? What would that be like? And I don't have an answer for it except for that. Yeah, where was it at? Let's see if I still see it on the thing. There's a supply post which we need to take at some point. Survey drone, military escort, scout drone, medical shuttle. Yeah, it said what in the chat here. It said medical shuttle distress signal, and I was wondering to myself, like, are you actually in distress, or if I go over there and steal you, you will be in distress? Like, I wasn't sure exactly how to interpret it. Part of me was like, I'll give you some distress. I'll give you something to cry about, but I didn't. I'm getting. We're focused on task here to get this magnesium back to the mine so I can build some gun munitions for the meteor, for the bad rocks from the sky. We're not having no extinction event here. Although that would be pretty catastrophic to have my entire mine get wiped out by a meteor strike. Or not the entire thing, but like a good portion of it that'd be unfortunate. But funny, maybe. All right, let's get this in there. That's a couple of loads. Oh, race car here. Calm it down. All right, so let's first. We're gonna have to have it build one thing of munitions first. And the only way to get that to happen is the NATO round. All right, let's just full send. Let's just full send over this hill. We're not really going that. Oh, right into another hill. Perfect. That's what you want. That's what you want to see. Let's go ahead and turn this around. Plop that down like so. Look at that. I'm like a professional moon parkour now. Carcore. Hmm? Carcore. You heard it here first, kids. TM. Copyright. Tater Industries. I don't have a way to ramp onto this side. We're not going to do that. Although, no, we're not going to do that. That's a terrible idea. What we could do, really quick. Grab this. I have an idea. Okay, we're gonna, I need to turn you off for a second just so I can get to this. I need to make one set of munitions. That right there. Just one. Would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice? 10? Okay. Let's do magnesium refinery. Boom. Just so we're clear, this has stopped moving, right? Yeah, it's fully off. Okay. I was thinking to myself, that's not good. Come on. Just I just need enough to build one. There we go. One's been built. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We can turn this thing back on. We can recompile. And then okay, let's grab the rest of this stuff out of here. And then onto my genius plan. Onto my pseudo genius plan. What if I grabbed the speed modules? We need speed, right? Speed, yep, speed. 2, 3, 4. I wish I could force the stone to be into this one thing. I think there's probably a way to do that. I don't know that process, so we're not going to mess with it, but I think that would be very useful. Okay, so speed modules. We can grab this guy here. I think we can change the color of it. There we go. I think these are all going to be yellow. Yeah, it's the color. That is the color of the hour. Okay, I think that's that's going to be processing. I don't know what it's given it first, but ideally this thing just does stone. I wonder if there's a way. You know what? Please hold. Well, after these messages, we'll be right back. I'm gonna read the goat sorter real quick and see if I can prioritize one of these things. Goat sorter. Yeah, I'm gonna read the goat sorter and see if I can prioritize one of the refineries to just use stone. So give me a second. Okay. It would appear it would appear it would appear that the we would need a sorter. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab a sorter, maybe. And we're gonna call this the stone sorter. And I think what I want to do for the stone sorter, what's going to happen is this is going to whitelist only stone. Stone. I just want stone. That's all it's going to do. So we're going to add that to the filter, and all this is going to do is be on. And then when I do it, it should process all stone to this thing here. And the only thing this should get is stone. This is just going to chew through the stone. That's all I want this guy to do. And then we'll allow it to run into a wall. We're going to allow it to obviously output everything so that it can. But what I want it to do is to consistently only do stone. So that's what this thing is going to try to do. Speed for stone, everything else gets to go this way. And that way, oh good, oh good, oh good. You know, let's pause for a second. I need a minute to think. I don't have any minutes. There's no thinking. I definitely built some ammunition. Perfect. I would like, let's say, 200 rounds. And then, Mr. Gatling Cannon, I definitely need you to shoot meteors. Target rockets. No, well, yeah, sure. Target rockets, but definitely target meteors. Yay! Yay! That's great. That's perfect. You keep doing your job. That's what needs to happen. I love everything about it. That's what we love to see here at mining industries at the Pirates Au Gratin Mining Industries. Perfect. So, okay. Now the hydrogen bike. That's our next thing. Sorry, that took a minute to read about it. There is a system. The sorter does have a means to prioritize like different things. Unfortunately, you know what? unfortunately, the primary thing is this, is that it does not, um, it has the means to do it, but what it doesn't have is the means to not do that. That doesn't make any sense. What am I saying? I don't even know. Basically, the long and the short of it is, um, make this please. That's the long and the short of it. No, make this please. Yes, thank you. Yep, thank you. Let's do another one. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Perfect. I love everything about that. Let's grab these guys here. We're going to get these on the grid for charging. How do I do that? Let's do this. So I guess now I could potentially go check the other thing and see if it's got the charging. So anyways, basically it has a way to prioritize. It prioritizes. You can do an ingot quota where basically essentially you say, okay, I need everything possible. I need 5,000 iron ingots at all times. And so anytime it drops below that, it prioritizes iron first. But yeah, I don't need to do that. But see, this guy, now it's doing something else. Get this out of here. I don't love this. This is supposed to be stone only. I want this to only be stone refinery, and it's because there's a secondary loop. That's the issue. You know what? I have an idea. I have an idea. You ready for this? Here's my idea. We're gonna chop this bad boy here. We're gonna plop down this guy here. We're gonna call this stone out. And the plan behind this guy is going to be what? Literally whitelist everything. Like it's just gonna the entire thing ore is just gonna be, it's gonna out everything. I don't want it to touch anything. So if it's not stone, I'm not interested. I want stone to be constantly cycled out of this thing. I don't need, stone gets to go in and be refined and then it gets pooped out. I don't have any interest in there being anything but stone in that. And it kind of looked like that other thing worked, calling this a stone refinery, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. That's what matters, is it doesn't matter. Okay, now let's go get ourselves a little hover bike. We're gonna fast speed this bad boy. Let's see, which way do I want this to face? This is very weird. It's not letting me rotate. There it is. That's the direction I want. Okay, we're gonna plop that down right there, maybe. Perfect. Switch lock. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's build ourselves a little hover bike. That's what's gonna happen right now. Let's go. Why, yes, I did nearly just nuke myself. Thanks to that. That was wonderful. Oy, that hurt a lot. The bad news is it took me as long as it did to realize that I was currently cooking myself with that welder. So I love that for me. That was wonderful. Man, the vodka does great for reducing the solar. You know what we need to do? I know we currently have food production at the other base, and we're doing that, but it wouldn't hurt to probably consider. Um, it wouldn't hurt to potentially consider. That should be welding now. It's working well. How close is too close before it starts to cook me? I think it's 8 spaces, so let's see. Welder. We can go ahead and turn that guy off. How did we get? Okay. So we've got ourselves a little cab. Cab now can support us. So this is what I was thinking. And this is, you'll have to excuse me if it looks weird. Hydrogen thrust. Do this. Little baby guy right there. Like John was saying, we just need small thrusters in each direction. So we have those. Now we're gonna need. You know what we're gonna need? Yeah, we probably are gonna need that right there. We're gonna need to that. It's gonna have to be gone right there. And then we're gonna have to do 5. We're gonna have to have this guy here. Right that there. There we go. Right there. We do a couple of those, couple of ups. Downs. Downs. Down, down. Going down, down, doobie doobie doo doo. For whatever reason, this wouldn't let me place a block right here, which is weird, so we can place it like that. And then, we probably need some more ups, yeah? We got up, up. We'll leave that one blank right there. Get in, and now we can do welder. And we can get the rest of this welded up. Yeah, look at that. It's going to be a little weird cargo thing. The downside is I orientated that the cargo container really weird, so it's not going to be something that can do the work. And for some reason, yep, not for some reason, Tater did not build this right. So if we look at, oh, that should be. Why are you not getting power? Let's stockpile. Is it because you're incomplete? No, you're not incomplete. Oh, because grids. We are out of grids. We sure are, yeah. Okay, okay. Well, hydrogen thruster or hydrogen mini ship is on hold. But what we can do is we can go ahead and grab ourselves one of these bad boys right here. Slap that on. That gives us, you know, the power of the power of the juice, and we can get it charging. And if I take the battery on this guy here and I say put to recharge, so it can automatically be working on it, and we're good to go. Look at that. Look at that. Would you just look at it? So now what we need to do, we found all the fun things that I was saying as far as gold and all that stuff. And apparently I didn't place any thrusters on that side right there, which is weird. So we got 4 down, yeah. Let's go ahead and do hydrogen thrusters. Let's go ahead and turn them all off. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to need to find some cobalt. And we have cobalt right here. It's just, I wonder how much deeper it is the problem. How close are we? We're almost at full extension. We may not be that close at all. We may be We may have to do a little pre-digging for that cobalt, or we find another spot and we go dig ourselves a little hole for cobalt. What do we want to? How do we feel about this? Where was my iron hole? I had one. Did I take it with this mining? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Okay, so I mean, there's technically cobalt right there too, and that's not going to get hit by this. That's going to get hit. That's not. It's not going to get hit by this. We can go get ourselves some cobalt really quick, just to get some grids on board. Get some light in here so you guys. Yeah, we were never going to hit this cobalt. We were never going to hit it. This wasn't going to happen. So I'll go ahead and mine this out, a little side tunnel of our thing. And then we may be complete. Once I start the drill back up, it may finish completely and just be done. But I can at least I'm getting some cobalt now. So obviously I have a bunch of crap in my inventory. So this is going to be not, I wouldn't say moot, but it's definitely going to be something. Something moot-like. It's like a cow's opinion. It just doesn't matter. Okay, let's go ahead and start the drills back up because I think it's almost at, it may be at capacity. So if we go ahead and hit start, yeah, it may be at capacity. We may just be out of luck there. And if we come over here and we look, this should prioritize now. This guy should be prioritizing cobalt because it's something we need the most of. Refinery. This guy's just doing stone. Beautiful. I love everything about it. Here, get out of there. Get out of there. Cobalt. Or ore, I guess is what we're looking for. Did we already chew through that? No, okay, we didn't. There. This guy needs to be here. We need grids. God, look how much freaking stone we still have, and we're just blowing through it with that other refiner. That's all we're doing. This guy should not be doing. This guy should be doing cobalt. Based on what we need for metal grids. Did I have metal grids prioritized here? Metal grids. Oh, we don't have any on board. 100 is the answer. And that should reprioritize our refinery now. Because production's going to be like, whoa, wait a minute, I need this stuff. That's it. That's done. It's done. Mining complete. So the next thing to do is going to be to add an additional vertical thing and do some more. Of course, we're going to have to use a lot of materials before we do that because look how much iron there is. Honestly, that's so crazy. And we could potentially, if we were crazy, we could get this thing and we could start over there and drill through all that ice to get directly over the cobalt. I thought I was more of a center than I was. I have not. Like, I don't know how much of the cobalt's actually going to pick up, so we should probably build it kind of over here. And I'm not saying I'm not against it. It's just going to be a lot of ice and stuff that we pick up. So we might center point this bad boy right here, which would be, yeah, we can look at doing that. It's going to have to go out a few and up a few, but it's not impossible. So yeah, that's an idea. Okay, we got ourselves a miner. We don't have a lot of cobalt on board yet, but I think we made pretty good progress. I'm pretty content with this. And this is coming out. I'm having to do this one a little bit early, and I'll tell you why. We had I'm switching internet, and they're gonna kill my internet tomorrow, so I'm not gonna get to do the things that I normally would do, which would be to make one of these things, or record a little later in the process for my liking, is what it is. So we're gonna grab. I think I want a second assembler, by the way. And we're going to call this assembler. This is going to be the disassembler. And you're going to guess what it's for. It's going to be specifically to disassemble stuff. We don't have any metal grids for it. That's what I like to see. No metal grids. Ultimately, this will be set for disassembly purposes, and that's what I want to do. I'm not going to... I guess I can go ahead and throw some speed modules on it just for the chagrins, if you will. 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're going to have to close that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And we're going to get back to gray. It's like a tower of assembly. This needs some like cool lighting. Maybe some flashing lighting. Obviously this isn't done, so it doesn't really matter, but all right. So the disassembler is going to be made. I think we're kind of in a good spot to call it. We got some stuff done. We got some gold. We got some munitions. I think we are already out of the magnesium, so we may need to make that decision. You guys, let me know down in the comments if you would be so kind. Do we potentially use do we potentially use the, it looks like my screen's cracked, probably from my windshield's cracked, probably from running into stuff. Do we utilize thumpers, but we make a minimum distance to the base and we make sure that it can only store materials, that it can't refine materials? Or do I set up another mine specifically for, um, do I set up another mine? Do I build a whole nother one of these, maybe with a little less refining space? Either way, I would say we bring the refinery stuff back here because we have two refiners. But do we build a mine and do that, or do we do the other thing? That's kind of my question to you guys. I was excited about the little hover guy, but he's definitely without the grids. That does give us a little bit of pause. I think I'm trying to think what would be the next. I think we're going to build that out. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to do that. I might do off screen. I won't weld it up, but I'll definitely off screen, maybe we'll move another arm out here and we'll label all of those. Like we'll tear this arm down and then we'll just move this out straight to the right and we'll go straight down with it and we'll do another big hole. Or we will dislabel all these things and then yeah, haven't decided. I'll see what that looks like. But if you guys, what do we get going on here? No conveyor connection between large cargo container ores and stone refiner. That's incorrect. Uh, Yeah, you're a liar. You're a dirty liar. There's so many cargo connections. It's because I disagree with what you're saying. Primarily because that thing over there, um, it's because this is only refining stone. Once stone's gone, good, we can. Did we? No, we didn't. No way. Did we literally refine all the stone? No, we didn't. What are we doing here? No way. We cannot be out of. I don't believe it. Sorry. I know I was saying bye, and then I totally distracted myself. Heck yeah, we did. We killed all the stone. Good, good, good. Okay, so then what can we do? I think we leave that the way it is. And anytime we get stone, it just keeps processing and we don't let this thing build other stuff. That being said, in order to get this stuff out, we're gonna have to do ingots, I think is what we want to, yeah, in order to, oh, because, and that's the problem right there. I think we can set the sorter. Real quick, we're gonna do this. I know. I was saying bye and then I decided. Um, there we go. That should clear the line. Right. Or it won't clear the line because raisins. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Now this thing can be mad that it can't get to the thing, but it's only because I don't want it refining the other crap. Although with the amount of ore we have, we might as well turn it on and let it do everything. Maybe we can adjust that. I'm not sure. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think I should do in terms of whether or not we build out a secondary mine just to go specifically for the cobalt, or if we build up some thumpers or some of the resource nodes, add a magnesium mine, and just have that collect stuff, and we build up just like a small little storage facility. You guys let me know what you think would be the best way to do that. I'm kind of liking the idea of a storage facility where you land up or you dock up with your car and then you pull the ore into a cargo container and then you take off. I kind of like that idea. Um, and then it could just be, we could just do like a couple of, like a large cargo container, put a little barn thing around it, maybe make it, no, we wouldn't even make it airtight. It would just be a cargo facility. I think that could be really cool, and I think that may be what I'm leaning towards. So you guys let me know if you think that's a cool idea or not. If it is, maybe that's what we do. If you don't like it and you're like, no, Tater, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, please never suggest anything like that again. We can do that. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for the comments. I look forward to the next ones. I should be back up and running by episode 10. And if that happens, that'll be awesome. If it doesn't, I'll come into the community, whatever it takes, to get the information out to you guys. But like I said, Monday they turned my internet off, and supposedly they're coming back out on Tuesday to fix my internet, saving me $50 reduce Irish walrus pelts every month. So even though it's the same internet from the same company, but reasons. So I don't know. Riddle me this. Companies are wackadoos, in my opinion. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Comment down below, like, share, subscribe, all the fun things. Welcome to the new joiners. We're at 306, I think is what I saw last. Welcome aboard to the Tater Train. And I will catch you later, Taters. And as always, be kind and stay ornery. Bye.